I went from feeling like I was spending all day picking up and cleaning my house to being able to do it in about 30 minutes. How did I do that? Well, today I'll be sharing with you the top lessons that I have learned from decluttering my house and why you should start doing it today. Make sure you stick around to the end because I'm also going to be mentioning some things that I have found to be harder because of decluttering. There are so many benefits, but these seem to be the ones that have impacted me the most. Now, I am far from perfect and I still have clutter and I still have messes. I still have times when I get stressed and overwhelmed. I really want to be real here. Many factors have gone into improving my home and my life, not just decluttering. So just make sure you keep that in mind. So I have been decluttering intentionally for a little over a year now. I've done some decluttering throughout the years, but this year I really wanted to go all in and focus on it. Growing up, I remember that I was able to keep things pretty clean and pretty organized, although I do have a really terrible memory, so maybe I'm wrong and I really was messy. Mom, if you're watching this, maybe you remember and you can remind me that I was messy. I don't know. Anyway, as I got older and marriage and kids started to come along, I started to get really overwhelmed with all of my responsibility, and slowly I started to let things slide. I would leave things out all the time, and you know what happens when you leave things out, right? Clutter attracts clutter, and things would just pile up. My house felt messy a lot, and I felt like I was the only one who was constantly cleaning and organizing our house. And I feel like I ended up kind of becoming more of a messier person. I just felt like I couldn't keep up with everything, so why even try? Fast forward 20-ish years, and here I was, a stay-at-home mom to 4 kids. I was depressed, I was stressed, I was overwhelmed, I was anxious all the time. Never did I think that having too much stuff would cause all of these feelings. And while having young children and kind of feeling like I lost myself a little bit also made me feel that way, I knew that something needed to change. Did you know that in 2019 there was a study done that found getting rid of clutter eliminates 40% of housework in the average home? 40%. The time that I have spent on cleaning has definitely decreased since decluttering. I spend a lot less time having to pick up before I actually clean. There are less items to dust and to clean. I have cleared a lot of my flat surfaces, like my kitchen counters, and so it's so much easier to wipe. I don't have to pick up all this stuff and clean around it and dust so many items that are on the counters. I have also learned that I really can't be lazy and I can't just throw things in a pile or a closet because, like I said before, 99% of the time that pile just grows and grows. Because I'm not spending nearly as much time picking up and cleaning, I have a lot more time to do the things that I want to do. I have more time to do the hobbies that I enjoy, to spend time with my family, and to relax. Instead of feeling like I'm picking up and cleaning all day, I get to work on my YouTube videos. I get to garden. I get to read a book. I get to play the piano. I get to play games with my family and so much more. Actually, part of the reason that I decided to start this YouTube channel was because I had felt like I had lost myself for so many years, and I wanted to do something that was just for me, not necessarily something that had to do with being a mom, because that's what I felt like I had been doing for so long. I really wanted to feel like I was making a difference. I know that that is silly because being a mom does make a really big difference in this world. We are raising the leaders of the future, right? But maybe you know what I'm talking about. For those moms out there, have you felt the same way that I do? I would really love to hear that I am not alone, so leave a comment down below and we can chat about it. It was probably about 10 to 15 years ago that I decided to really take care of my mental health, and I got therapy and I was put on some medications as well. I wanted so bad to feel like I had more control over my home and myself because I felt like I was out of control. I started watching YouTube videos on organizing and decluttering because I really wanted to be more organized and I really wanted to declutter my home to see if it was actually something that would help me to improve my life and improve my home. I really think that Dawn on The Minimal Mom was one of the first channels that I started to watch, and I was hooked. Now, after decluttering, I can tell you for sure that my stress, my anxiety, my overwhelm, and my general depression started to decrease. And while therapy and medications help, having less clutter definitely improved that as well. Instead of looking around my house and hearing in my mind, "You need to clean this," "I don't have enough time," "My house feels out of control," What's wrong with you? I was able to hear, wow, I was able to pick up that kitchen in just 5 minutes. I have more time to sit down and relax. I am not overwhelmed by a small mess because I know that I can be able to pick it up pretty quickly, and my house feels a lot more peaceful. I feel like that sometimes I shopped as therapy. It felt really good to walk around Target and to find something that I felt would make me really happy. I really don't shop like that much anymore, but I still do like to wander around Costco and buy way too much, which is definitely a habit that I am trying to break. But I have noticed that when I am tempted to bring something home with me, I definitely think twice about it before buying it, which in return has really saved me some money. Because when I declutter items that were really expensive or that I felt really guilty about getting rid of, I don't want to do that again. So I definitely think twice about it. I also really want to spend less time returning all the stuff that I buy. So the other day, I had several things I needed to return to Amazon. I decided to take them to Kohl's. That was the easiest, cheapest way to return the items. This happened a couple times. Both times, I stood in line for nearly an hour. What a waste of my time. So you can bet that I will be reminded the next time that I want to click that little buy now button on Amazon. Obviously, I'm really not perfect. I still buy more things than I should. I really want to be more intentional on what I buy. If you haven't already, consider subscribing for more motivation on decluttering and organizing your home. I have also learned that it takes a lot of work to maintain a decluttered home. I have to teach and remind my family where things go and to make sure that they get put away. It can feel overwhelming, but I have found ways to be able to make it feel a lot less overwhelming. I'll talk about that in just a minute. I've also learned that decluttering takes time. You didn't accumulate all this stuff in just a weekend, right? So it will take a lot longer than just a weekend to get rid of it all. It wasn't until about last year or so that I started to really see the benefits of decluttering, that it was saving me more time, that my mental health was improving, I was less stressed and anxious, that I had more time, and that it also saved me money. I do know that it partly has to do with the fact that my kids are growing up. They're not quite as little anymore, so I don't have little kids to take care of all day. But with so much stuff out of our house, I definitely feel like I can keep up with my house and all that goes along with it. While decluttering isn't a one and done thing and you have to continually keep up with it, it is so worth it. I promise you. I highly recommend decluttering in small chunks so that you don't get yourself overwhelmed. Click here for my 15-minute decluttering series where I show you how easy it can be to declutter in just 15 minutes and how big of a difference that it can make. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend with me. I really appreciate you, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. But I just wanted to... Ooh, ooh, ooh.